Hello everyone and welcome back to Night Call. Today I got a cool new chair, so that's exciting, and we're gonna go on to night 4 of Night Call. And hopefully we can find some new stuff out about our suspects. And hopefully we can figure out who we want to choose, but we've got a couple more nights in order to worry about that. You open one eye. You start whistling some song that's been in your head since you woke up, though you don't know why. It's gonna be a long night. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 4. Okay, let's see who is around. Doesn't look like anybody major. Let's do this little cat. I think that's a cat. Like, we can give transportation to a cat so long as they pay. We need money. They have a fare, so let's do it. You pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab after a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. You jump, startled. A cat has managed to slip into the cab. It's sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you are about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions and slips, and a slip of paper falls from its collar. Let's pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of a map in Paris. The Saint Lazare train station. You turn your eye slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. Are you going somewhere? The cat tilts its head to the side as if to say yes. You want to go to the Saint Lazare? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods its head no. Your hands clutch the wheels tightly. What the hell is going on? You turn around to face the cat. Okay, fine. I'll take you. You let out a sigh. Okay, fine. You start talking to yourself in low tones, as if to balance the conversation. Normal. This is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? You start to laugh. A few minutes go by. You try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither a yes or a no, more of a plaintive meow. Are you running away from someone? The cat lets out a long, plaintive meow. Another cat. Your owner? Again, a long, melancholic meow. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Was she mean to you? The cat seems to be uncertain. She was not around for you? The cat doesn't seem to understand. For instance, your owner is never home. You're bored. You want to spend more time playing. If the cat could roll their eyes, he would have. Does she have other cats? The cat gives you a look full of disbelief. That's not it either, huh? You're independent. You like to be alone, right? The cat doesn't seem to feel like talking anymore. He turns his head away, looks at the street out of the window. You're not far now, after the next light. You point to a light in the distance. That Saint Lazare will be there soon. A few yards later, you stop at the drop-off area in front of the station. The first train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? The cat stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Saint Lazare. If you were going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest of France. Normandy? Somewhere by the sea, huh? The cat is looking at you and meows. A sharp sound. Probably a yes. A very hungry yes. For the fish, I guess. You check the time on the dashboard. It's time to go, to get a real customer. You try not to think too much about the situation you're in, and you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. I'll just start saying the names of cities and you meow when I hit the right one. You start to list cities in Normandy. The cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg. The cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close? St. Malo. Still nothing. I've got it. Douauville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden, you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It is enough for the fare. And more. Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I won't ask where it came from. You smile and lean over to pet the cat. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out its shape dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. You get back into the car. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you are allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. Okay. So we just talked to a cat. What about... Okay, I can't resist. Whoever the heck this guy is. Oh, my good friend, I need thee to ride forth. The car door opens. Your passenger enters wearing a rather heavy-looking suit of armor. The plate metal clanks as he settles in. The horns seem dangerously close to the roof. Where goest thou, my lord? The knight recoils a little, perhaps in surprise. Ah, taketh me not for thy superior, for I be lord nor to none. Yea, I am thy humble servant, just as thou art mine. In sooth, since thou asketh. Ride onward, my friend, to Notre Dame, the most noble of Catholic cathedrals. The jewel of my most magnificent city of Louisa. Ah! Louisa. In sooth, it is called Paris by the common people. Paris, the city of steel and stone, noble stone, worn away by the ages, glorious stone, tempered by fire, the entire world, the world looking in awe at its wondrous face, its monument soaring to the heavens, singing praise to the mighty guardians of the citadel. He falls silent for a moment, then eventually leans in a little closer. Well then, I pray thee, to the forecourt of Notre Dame de Paris. You nod and turn the key in the ignition. You start the cab at last. The vibration of the cab sets your passenger's armor jangling. From time to time, his sword makes funny humming sound. The ride through Paris continues in silence. The city is just waking up. Delivery trucks, the first buses of the day, and half-asleep pedestrians fill the streets. You feel a yawn creeping up your spine. Your muscles tighten to prevent your mouth from opening. Your eyes glaze over. The ride continues in silence. From time to time, your passenger shifts positions, and so does his plate metal. You are nearing the streets around Notre Dame now. The knight leans in towards you. Ah, the majestic towers appeareth yonder. What a tremendous sight! Oh, the marvel of it! Just think, it took dozens, scores of years to build it. He looks out the window as you stop the cab. My fellowship has cometh. In the early morning light, you see a gathering of warriors and soldiers, of magicians and witches. What's going on? My comrades in arms, my sisters and brothers. We are all going to Fontainebleau for 3 days, and for 3 moons. We will visit the forest of Berhun, the birthplace of Thorogral and Rash. Your passenger is rummaging through his armor. I know I put my wallet in here somewhere. He digs around for a minute, pinches a finger, damn it, and eventually pulls out money for the fare. You watch as he tries to remove himself from the cab. First himself, bodily, helmet down so as to not damage the roof, next his sword with a clattering on the pavement, and last his shield, which no longer seems to fit through the door. Good day, my dear fellow, fare thee well. The knight salutes you. You watch him as he joins a group of friends. There are cries of admiration all around. You recognize your passenger with the rabbit ears. He and the knight greet each other, compliments flying thick and fast. You turn the key in the ignition. Cool, cool. Okay, so that guy is no longer a suspect, and he doesn't really pay, so I don't think I'm gonna go for him. That other suspect doesn't seem to be around. Well, I can click on him at least and see. If it says he'll pay a fare, then I'll help him out. You move a yawn, moving its way up your body. Oh, okay. I mean, he says that he's gonna pay the fare, but I know he's broke. Screw it, let's do it. I need a ride, cabbie. The door opens. It's Harvey. He greets you with his bizarre verbal tick, as usual. How's it going? Hi, Harvey. You start the engine. Pretty cool tonight, right? His voice has a peculiar lit to it, as if certain syllables were sung to stop him from stuttering. Hey, aren't you cold with your ass stuck to that car seat of yours? Yeah, we freeze our asses off. That's what I thought. You can't fool me. I know a cold guy when I see one, huh? I've got a place to stay in Passy. Any way you can give me a lift? Sure, of course. Great, mate. That way we stay nice and warm. In the 15 years I've been on the street, it's never been this cold, I swear. You know some guys aren't gonna make it. Shit. That's how it goes. For us, yes. A pause. His smell is gradually permeating the inside of the cab. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. You'll leave the door open later on to air out the cab. But you know, I'm used to it. Even before, sure. I don't think I ever told you. When I was a kid, I was never cold. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time, my mother dragged me to the Pyrenees during vacation. Didn't know what the hell to do with me. Liked to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke the bottle of gin she'd brought along. Should have seen her. Threw a fit, shit. She gave me a thrashing, but I gave it a good... She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles were hanging from the eaves. It had snowed the day before, sure. I sat there for an hour, arms crossed, with a cardigan on my back, Mac, and underpants on my ass. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment, my old lady was, yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothin'. And well, the cold didn't get to me, see? Felt nothing at all, nah. Wish I could say the same today. When was that? Well, I was 8, 9, maybe, see? Ha! If I could still do that, man, no can. Can't do it. Too old, cold. It gnaws away at me, see? And thanks again, man, for giving me a hand. No problem. Serious, man. You know how it feels, for real, and you help out. The cab pulls up to the shelter in Passy. Fuck, the last time I was here, there was a protest out front. A bunch of guys from the neighborhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off. Sounded like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thanks, man. I know I can count on you. Good luck. He rubs his hands together and walks toward the shelter. Great. Oh, that's the cyborg guy, isn't it? Sure, let's check up on cyborg guy. Let's see how he's doing. You recognize your next passenger immediately. It's a strange youngster you drove a few nights before, the one with a computer chip in his brain. Hey, it's you! Well, isn't this a coincidence? And now, of all times. He's grinning from ear to ear, his mismatched eyes barely visible under his hood. No sense hanging around, let's go. He gives you an address, a hospital in Neuilly. His speech is different, almost like two distinct voices talking at the same time. Talking with clients is always a balance. Some relish the chance to tell their stories. Others are terrified of talking to strangers. It's rare you actively seek to discourage conversation. But tonight... How's it going, buddy? How go the rounds? Fine, thank you. Oh, come on, man. It's got to be better than that. Show a little enthusiasm. Besides, things have picked up now, eh? The old team back on the road? He chuckles warmly, a strange sound directly whispered into your ear. The drive continues in silence for a while. The lamplight casts alternating bars of light and dark across the dashboard. They slow and stop as you approach a red light. Hey, let's play a game. Your passenger leans forward again. See that apartment there? All lit up, even at this time of night? And that dude on the sidewalk? And, I don't know, her? He points out the window without looking, just after a woman pulls alongside you on a bike. Pick one. Give me a second. You don't know where your client is going, but... The man on the sidewalk. Not bad, not bad. Medium difficulty. He spreads his arms across the top of the back seat. In the silence of the cab, you feel something leave, like your passenger has gotten out. Bosh. The outburst makes you jump. Alright, hit me. What do you want to know? About what? About sidewalk dude. Man, keep up. His name. Name is, too easy, Francis Hollande. Wait, yeah, not that one. Doesn't stop his workmate's constant jibes, though. Francis doesn't like that. At all. Is there anything else you want to know? Where's he going? It's not where he's going, it's where he's been. Or rather, who he's been. Visits the same dive bar each week, calls himself Gene, goes on the hunt. Your passenger tilts his head slightly. Seems he bagged some prey tonight. Just wait till he goes for his wallet, though. Shakes his head. Looks like she's already bought 3 bottles of the good stuff and enough blow to drown a horse. Is there anything else you want to know? His job. Work. Oh yes, accountant. Typical drone stuff. Although, my, he has been a bad boy. My guy here fancies himself a bit of a gangster. Hooked himself up with some underworld connections. A pretty little house of cards indeed. Dangerous stuff he's playing with. The man sits back satisfied, like he's just finished a meal or a hard-won task. Oh man, that was almost too easy. How did you do that? The young man smirks and points to his temple. For those with the right tools, this is a golden age of data mining. You won't believe the access people are willing to give to their fridge never runs out of milk, or their smart speaker can tell them a shitty joke. He leans forward, all mirth vanishing from his voice. My procedure opened the gates. It was overwhelming. Now, I can control it. I can manipulate it. Let me show you. With a twirl of his hand, your passenger points to the man at the crossing. The figure awakes from a reverie and digs his hand into his pocket. You see the phone screen light his face as he reads, a look of horror stealing over his features. What did you do? Nothing. Nothing at all. Although some good Samaritan seems to have sent his entire text message history to his wife and boss. So selfless. Gives you hope for humanity, really. He giggles. You watch as tears begin to roll down the man's cheeks. He steadies himself on a lamppost as his knees give way. Over the engine you hear muffled sobbing. He looks around in panic before he turns and runs. Your passenger giggles. Shaken, you move away from the light and towards your destination. You know, at first I thought my procedure had been a mistake. I started seeing things, hearing things. It was like there was another consciousness in here, you know? Like by opening my mind to all that information, I caught the attention of something. A digital devil on my shoulder. His shit-eating grin drops for the first time. It made me do things to people, to my colleagues. They didn't understand my work, laughed me out of the conference, but they didn't deserve. I didn't mean to. He shakes his head and his mismatched eyes catch the light of the street lamps, giving them an otherworldly glow. But the veil parted eventually, and we realized the devil wasn't a devil at all. It was an angel. You swallow. Do you know what's at the address I gave you? No. I don't know that area. It's the clinic where I had my operation. His grin widens. It's time for round 2. You approach the drop-off. Sure enough, it's a fancy-looking medical clinic. Its lights bathe the sidewalk in a green-white glow, even at this time. Fare's already in your account, my man. He laughs. Oh man, I envy you. Every second I'm blabbling away. A whole generation's worth of info passes me by. I just wish I could stop. He smiles enigmatically. I don't think I'll be seeing you anytime soon, my man. Nothing personal. We've got places to see, people to be. A last nugget of advice, though. He leans toward you, his eyes pushing through the shadows of his hood. Be careful out there. You never know who's watching. With a final grin, he moves smoothly from the car towards the clinic. A shiver runs unbidden down your spine. You get on the accelerator and move away from the cab. Okay, so that was suspicious as heck, especially that line where he said that they weren't a devil, they were an angel. Kind of wonder if he's going to become another suspect, but I doubt it. Oh, okay, I guess we'll go with her then. Interesting. The passenger who enters your cab seems familiar to you. She gives you her address and you start to drive. You glance back at her from time to time, trying to remember where you've seen her before. It's no use. Suddenly she gives a little pout, clearly annoyed by your incessant gaze. Sorry, your face seems familiar to me. She breathes an audible sigh. Could be. She pauses deliberately. I'm in porn. That's who she is, an actress. A former actress. You'd seen her in a couple of movies a few years ago. That's probably why you recognize my face. Your mouth suddenly goes dry. Her eyes and voice show no sign of emotion whatsoever. She might as well have said that she were a teacher or a dentist. You're not just an actress? That's right, I'm not. I hardly do any acting these days. Now I'm a director and a producer. I started my own production company, and we make porn. She loves talking about it. You can see it in her face. Gender-positive porn. Committed. Respectful. Some call it feminist, but I'm not sure that's how I'd describe it. Her voice is calm. A gleam of passion lights up her eyes. We shoot with pros. We are respectful of our bodies and personalities. Our actresses and actors are paid well. They receive residual earnings. It's brand new at first. It's fresh and it works. Zero tolerance when it comes to those dubious types, to wandering hands, to any assaults on the well-being of our actors and actresses. Respect, diversity, creativity. She lets out a sigh. I spend a lot of my money deafening our profession, going after sites illegally broadcasting our videos, making sure pirates are punished. She leans forward. But by the way, do you like that kind of porn? I'm just asking because I'm curious about what people like to watch. It's not really my thing. It's okay to talk about it, you know. It's true. I hardly watch any. Hardly any. Yeah. You blush slightly. Come on, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Do you prefer younger women, older women? Men? She leans back, an embarrassed smile playing across her lips. All right, I'll stop bothering you with questions. You can't help reading in her eyes a touch of satisfaction, as if she enjoyed asking you all of those questions. Before long, you arrive at the address your passenger had given you. There, you have trouble parking. None of the streetlights are working. There's nothing stranger than an unlit Parisian street in the middle of the night. Your client gives a slight cough behind you. You wouldn't mind staying here until I'm in the building? They're doing work. The lights aren't working. She doesn't even finish her sentence. No problem. Thanks. I have to say I've been feeling a little insecure lately. All of her energy seems to have vanished. She hesitates a moment as if she can feel your connection with the killer before speaking. I knew one of the victims of the serial killer. Natalie, I knew her pretty well, in fact. We'd worked together and sometimes she babysat my son. You know, she was a great girl. She starts talking about her friend, who she was, who she had been seeing, how she had changed just before she died. You make a mental note of the new information. I'll stay here until you're in the building, okay? Thank you. She hands you the fare and exits the cab slowly, crossing the street in total darkness to the door of her building. You remember that night. The pain, the stab of the knife in your side. If only you had turned your head, you would have seen your assailant's face. Maybe they would have still killed you that night. Maybe your attacker would have already spotted you in your cab. Your passenger waves to you as the building door closes. You wave back. Fear spreads slowly through your body. You breathe in slowly and drive away. Okay, looks like we have time for one more passenger before the night ends. Let's see who might be interesting or familiar. What about this girl? I know we've done her before, but I can't remember much about her. Oh, I guess the time passed out beforehand. Oh, we've actually... Oh, wait, that's right. We still have money to lose. We're not doing so good, guys. We're pretty broke. You wipe your face. You're starting to feel sleepy. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipes shake. You sigh and get to work. You need to talk to Jonas. That we don't know like anything about him. Okay, let's end the night there. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slide onto the open sofa bed. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, and their problems. Okay, guys. That was another exciting night. That was a lot of fun. We met some more cool people. We met a pretty damn cool-ass cat. Yeah, we'll have to see what ends up happening on night 5 in the next episode. But until then, I will see you guys later.